Hey everyone, I'm Majin and welcome back to World Tour Weekly, your one-stop shop for all competitive Flesh and Blood news. Now that the World Championship is over and behind us, it's time to start looking forward into the format, events, and releases we can expect in the future. Let's get into it. I want to start off by going over some of the recent announcements we have regarding competitive events. First up, we got an announcement about the upcoming ProQuest season for Pro Tour Yokohama. This was revealed alongside a couple of pretty neat spoiler cards for everyone's favorite and probably evil cyborg mechanologist Tekla. The announcement shows that ProQuest this season will be in predetermined formats depending on the date the tournament is held. This, of course, is different than in the past when stores would choose which format they wanted to hold on their own events. I do really like this move because it seems like most stores are just going to pick Classic Constructed since it's kind of the default mode of how to play the game, and that makes it really tough for alternative formats to gain any traction. I think it's especially nice when paired with a format like Silver Age that's incredibly accessible even if you don't have a Silver Age deck or have never played the format before. This season will have Silver Age events from February 21st to March 1st and Classic Constructed events from March 7th to the 22nd. We also have confirmation that once again, players who win a ProQuest will not be able to compete in other ProQuest events that season. None of this was the most exciting part though. Like I mentioned before, we got some Tekla spoilers. The first one shown is Ghost Protocol Architect. It's a red 0 cost 1 power attack action with 3 defense value that says if it was banished from boosting this turn, you may play it from your banish zone. It also has Evo upgrade. When this attacks, you can search for an Evo with cost equal to or less than the amount of Evos you have equipped. You banish it and then shuffle. The second card is called Ghost Protocol Mainframe. It's a blue 0 cost attack action with the same stats as the previous card. It once again says if it was banished from boosting this turn, you may play it from your banish zone. Its own Evo upgrade ability allows it to gain +1 power for each Evo that you have equipped. Now, these cards tell us something pretty important about the future of Tekla. LSS seems to be guiding him in a more boost-oriented direction. Previously, he had some small amounts of synergies with boost, being able to boost away your Evos and then play them from the banish zone. But honestly, it wasn't quite worth it to give up all these strong generic cards. Now, with cards like Ghost Protocol, I could absolutely see the deck moving in that kind of direction. My guess is that in Compendium, we will see some boost cards made to specifically work with Tekla. I'm not really exactly sure what form that will take, but I'm excited to find out. Fun fact, I actually love Tekla. I don't really enjoy the super singularity focused versions, but I do very much enjoy stacking up Evos, getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on, and then sending late game bombs like Terminator Tank. I don't actually own many cards that aren't for the Wizard class, but you better believe I own a playset of every single Tekla Majestic for the day that he becomes competitively viable. We did also get one more promo card shown in this announcement, and that is Extended Art Bittering Thorns. Moving on to the second announcement of the day, Road to Nationals updates for 2026. Road to Nationals season this year takes place from January 3rd to February 1st and is going to be featuring the Classic Constructed format. Besides the obvious Nationals qualification, there's going to be some pretty neat prizes as well. The article also tells us that this year the National Championships will be using XP from playing and competing in Road to Nationals events to add some additional ranking-based invites. This means that players can qualify in 3 different ways. The first is placing top 4 at a Road to Nationals event. The second is qualifying through accumulated Road to Nationals XP, specifically not XP from other events, only Road to Nationals. And the third is from redeeming a PTI. This is a pretty cool way to get some invites out to people who are actively seeking one and may have just fallen short of top 4 on their events. Also, don't forget that there are some special Black Friday packs coming this weekend that you can get included with a purchase from an eligible gem store. They have some pretty cool extended art cold foils inside. Alright, with the news out of the way, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about the Blitz meta as Skirmish season starts this weekend, and it's going to be featuring the Blitz format for the last time. So let's talk about it a bit in today's Metagame Minute. Normally for Metagame Minute, I like to talk about events that have already passed, and in a way we're going to do something similar because we're going to be talking about the previous Blitz Skirmish results. This is because I haven't picked a Blitz deck for Skirmish yet. I understand that that's a bit odd for us to do on this show, it's not really standard for us, but look at the prizes offered. I absolutely have to get these Cold Foil Everbloom Lives for my Verdance deck and Consign to Cosmos Shocks for my Acilio deck. Okay, with that said, let's take a gander at Skirmish Season 12's results. Going down the list, it looks like Florian, KO, Blaze, Arachne, and Aurora were all top picks. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I stopped looking so hard once I saw a wizard in the top 3. From that alone, it seems like Blaze Firemind might be the hero I decided to battle with, so let's talk a bit about her. I know I'm known a bit as like the wizard guy, so it might surprise a lot of you to hear that I've never actually played a single game with Blaze. I didn't have a lot of reasons to explore the Blitz format previously, but like I mentioned, I really want those cold foils. Now, from what I've learned based on research and from reading her hero card, Blaze seems to rely pretty heavily on opting. Cards like Aether Spindle and Centering Foresight really help her utilize her hero ability. That ability allowing her to use energy counters to play an instant speed arcane damage card is obviously really powerful. But it seems like Emeritus Scolding gets you the most bang for your buck since you kind of get to cheat on how many energy counters you use. Emeritus Scolding Blue says it will deal 2 arcane damage, therefore you only have to use 2 energy counters to play it at instant speed. If you do so on your opponent's turn, it will deal 4 damage, but you still only had to use 2 counters. Seems like a synergy that I will definitely want to take advantage of. Since the deck lists are rather 2 cost heavy, it seems like Absorb in Aether is a rather common inclusion as well. Not only does it block for a chunk, but you can use the 2 remaining resources to play something like Emeritus Scolding or Sonic Boom off your hero ability, taking advantage of the pseudo amp. Rounding out the deck are my 2 favorite fables in the game. I have Ophidia to basically put energy counters on Blaze for free, and Will of Arcana to help amp your arcane spells. As far as equipment is concerned, Talismanic Lens seems to do a lot of the things that Blaze wants to do, but does leave her really fragile. I'm wondering if something like Balance of Justice in some matchups might be better. You don't have access to Stormstriders since they're banned in the Blitz format, so I've been seeing a lot of lists opt for Seeker's Leggings. It does cost a resource to use the ability, but it opts letting you add an energy counter. Metacarpus Node and Old Knocker seem like the de facto pieces of equipment for the other slots, and Waning Moon is basically always the weapon choice. Something I've been wondering about though as I did my research is the lack of attack actions in these lists. Obviously Blaze is a wizard and wants to take advantage of arcane damage, but something like Wounded Bull or Fendel's Fighting Spirit seem like it would fit in pretty well here. These large, super efficient attack actions get to punish your opponents for putting in Arcane Barrier over equipment that blocks. I am definitely going to be testing versions with and without the attack actions to see which one I like more before my local events. Like I said earlier, that was a bit non-standard for World Tour Weekly, but I hope you don't mind me talking about a hero that I just spent the last couple days learning about in preparation. Now it's time to move on from Blitz and talk about today's weekend winners. We only had one World Tour stop this weekend with battle-hardened Las Vegas, where Christopher Iali took down the entire thing on Kasai of the Golden Sand. Looking at the top 8 bracket, it seems there was actually 3 warriors that made the cut. Not something we get to see every day. Shout out to Richard on Dorinthia going into the single elimination rounds in first seed. And congratulations once again to our weekend winner. Okay, we got some pretty exciting stuff on the horizon to look forward to. Compendium of Wraith might be a while away, but Calling Valencia is this next weekend, featuring the classic constructed format for the Calling and Silver Age for the Battle Hardened. Obviously, the Silver Age format is going to change a ton by the time we play it in Pro Tour Yokohama, but I am excited to see the format played out and establish sort of like ground knowledge. Once again, make sure to sign up for your local skirmish so you can win some great prizes and give Blitz the send-off it deserves. And if you live in the Northern California area, maybe just don't bring your Arcane Barrier. No reason. That's the end of this week's show. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Majin, and I'll see you next time on World Tour Weekly.